Okay, so welcome to the Elementor Sydney meetup for September. So tonight we're going to be talking about add-ons for Elementor, and Maurice has got a few add-ons that he's going to go through and demonstrate live, just kind of pressing a few features and buttons for that, just to let you see what sort of things are there out there that you can add on to your Elementor system to kind of improve and extend on it. We've got a rough agenda, and we don't tend to it's not an overly complex agenda, so we tend to start roughly as close to 6 o'clock as we can. We do a little bit of welcome and introductions, and that includes you guys as well. A little bit of what's new in the Elementor world, and then we'll do the presentation. And if we've got time for Q&A at the end, we can do that. And then we aim to finish around about 7 o'clock or 7:30, depending on how much chat and questions people have. Okay, so let's introduce the organizers. Hi, I'm Will. So I'm one of the organizers for the group. I also organize the WordPress Sydney meetup. My background is programming, so I'm a developer. I tend to do integration mostly. So I integrate WordPress with other systems like Salesforce and all these different systems out there. So I've been using WordPress since 2008. So I know it pretty well for that, and I'm just happy to get a chance to build up this community, Elementor community in Sydney again. John, are you ready to?
Yep, I'm back.
You're back. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I am John, and I am a graphic designer. And I started using Elementor about 2 years ago, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And it allows me as a graphic designer just to be super creative, and I treat it the same way as I treat Photoshop and InDesign and Illustrator, in that I can kind of do whatever I want. And I'm self-employed, and anytime any client comes to me now and wants to build a site using something like Divi or something, I manage to talk them around to Elementor because, well, they're going to get a better website. So that's me.
Awesome. Julia.
Yes, hi, I'm Julia. I'm a web designer and I work for a software company as a web designer there. But I also have my own business on the side, which is called WebAWeb. It's a marketing agency, and we do web design and development, graphic design, and a bit of digital marketing as well. I've been using Elementor for a few years now. I love it. And I love being part of this group. So happy to be here, and welcome to everyone.
Cool. And last but not least, Maurice, if you want to give a little bit of introduction. I'm sure you're going to introduce yourself anyway because you're the main presenter, but let people know who you are.
Yeah, Maurice, not as much as everybody else. Been using, been building websites probably for most of my life, and love playing with websites and trying out new things, and I guess that's where today's presentation came from. And otherwise have a life as an accountant and business intelligence in the other world, but cool. Using Elementor for a few years.
Awesome. Thank you, Maurice. Okay, so just a quick run through our code of conduct. You can read the code of conduct on the elementor.com/community code-off-conduct. I'm not going to run through it all. It basically means be nice to each other, and everyone will be fine. So we welcome everyone in this group, beginners, experts, everyone in between. The date is always the first Thursday of every month through February to possibly December. We'll see if we'll do a Christmas one or not. If you're looking for announcements, I should change that. It's actually on the Elementor website. So events.elementor.com. The meetups here, they're about 60 minutes to 90 minutes long. Try to go on less if possible. We want to keep it fun for everyone. If possible, turn on your camera. Obviously, if you're eating something or doing something else, that's fine to turn your camera off. But you would like to see your smiling faces. But during the main presentation, if you can please mute your mic, just so we don't get any background noises and stuff. Use the chat box as well if you want to ask some questions, and we'll maybe curate some questions during the presentation if Maurice is happy doing that. Otherwise, we tend to circle around at the end and do some of the questions then. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. Everyone here is at very, very different levels. So we've got some beginners here, we've got some first timers here, we've got some experts as well. So I don't think your question is too silly. Don't think you're afraid to ask something. Please just blurt it out. We're happy to help everyone. Make sure you got some snacks and some drinks handy, because sometimes the presentations do go on for a little bit. And kid and pet bombing is totally acceptable. I think everyone nowadays is completely used to pets popping up and kids, walking in. So that's totally fine. But mostly just relax and enjoy, and don't forget to participate for this. Now, we're going to give you guys a chance to introduce yourselves as well. So if you've not done this before, in Zoom, down the bottom, or maybe on the side, depending on where you are, there's a little reactions thing. So if you want to introduce yourself, you can put your hand up for that, and then we'll call you by name, and you can introduce yourself and tell a little bit about who you are and what you do, and we'll do that for 5 minutes. But you don't have to, if you just want to sit back and just relax, that's totally fine as well. Okay, or you can put your real hand up as well, if you like. Nobody today?
Everybody's relaxing.
That's fine.
Oh, we
have one here.
Yep.
Supriya.
Hi, my name is Supriyo. I am from India. I am a freelancer web designer, especially WordPress designer. And I create content on Elementor in Indian native language, that is Hindi. So that's all. And I try to always update myself regarding Elementor updates on new features or tricks or tips and other things.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction.
welcome.
Isabel, would you like to unmute yourself and introduce?
Hi, I'm Isabel. Look, it's my first time. I'm also a beginner. I had a website that was built, many years ago by a web designer, and I just find that it was very difficult to get her to fix things up, or if I want something, a minor adjustment to get done. So I've decided to take over for the first time. So I finally just finished building my website about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm still trying to tweak it because I'm sort of like taught myself via YouTube. So I'm hoping that I'm picking up, a few tips and tricks from you guys.
Well, welcome, Isabel. I think you're in the right place.
Yes.
Dewi, do you want to give yourself an introduction?
Yeah, I think I've met most of you before, but for those I haven't met, g'day, I'm Dowie. I'm from a business called On Top of IT. My background, I started designing websites back in 1993, back when it was straight entering text into Notepad, and then the HTML code into Notepad, and then rolling it live into, it was Netscape at that time, and the first revision of Internet Explorer. So that was my background. Been in aviation for the last 20 odd years, but because of COVID, the whole world's become a crazy place. And last year I found myself back in IT again during all the lockdowns, and restarted the business and found Elementor. So that was the first time. So I've been using it for about a year now. So yeah, big supporter of the groups. I've learned so much from the groups and the members of the groups and things like that. So very grateful. And yeah, if I can do anything to help anyone, please feel free to shout out. I'm doing a lot of work with Google Ads at the moment, and I really enjoy that. I enjoy the granularity and the information and all that type of stuff as well. So if anyone needs a hand with that, please just give me a yell.
Cool. Welcome to the group.
And thanks to Will and the team for organising again.
Awesome. We do have somebody in the chat. So somebody who can't change their name. So they're ABPB095. So if everyone's wondering, it's Petrus from South Africa, and he's still quite new to Elementor. So welcome to the group. Okay, I forgot to say to show your beverage. So you can show up the camera just now. I've gone drinking a great big teacup of decaf tea. It should be caffeine, but went for decaf just now. Okay, let's go into the updates for today.
We also have Robert, who's raised his hand.
Robert, yep. Robert, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, hi guys. Just quickly, work with, been in the IT industry since the early 80s. Got involved with WordPress from early version 2 and been working with Elementor for about 3 years. Managed WP was mentioned before. I was using that platform before it went over to GoDaddy. Find it incredibly powerful. Web design's not my main focus in my business. Most of my clients are in Papua New Guinea, believe it or not, and the website hosting and designing is a bit of a sideline for me in the business. It's good income, the hosting side. I host on AWS. I don't go in too deep. If I have to go in deep, I bring in contractors to help me with the coding. Love IT. Don't do much else. I spend most of my time at my desk, and I bought an iFixit kit the other day.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Super. Thanks for your introduction, everyone. Okay, let's go on with some updates. So I tend to just have this little spot here just to let you know what's happening in the Elementor world. Okay, so I'll post a couple of links in the chat, and that's based on some of these articles here. So the first thing was Elementor 3.4.1, and that's the free version of Elementor. That was released recently. Now, there was problems with messing up the global CSS. A lot of people, when they upgrade to 3.4.1, found that some of their global colors had reset to the normal, and some of others had a few CSS problems. Now, that's been fixed in 3.4.3. So if you're having some problems with your websites and the colors are looking a bit wonky, especially global ones, then upgrading to 3.4.3 should fix that for those. But you may have to regenerate your CSS. Now, what Elementor does is whenever you're on an Elementor page and you're changing fonts and colors and stuff, it actually stores a CSS file for each page in association with the one that you're building. And sometimes that gets wonky. So under Elementor, you've got a tools section, and within that tools, there's a little button to regenerate CSS. And what it'll do is it'll go through all your Elementor page designs and it'll regenerate that CSS file for that. And that should correct any issues. So, and that's a little tip as well. If you're having some problems with CSS, it's just to try and regenerate those files, because sometimes they can get out of sync or cached or whatever. The next, the last one is Elementor Pro. So that's the paid version, is 3.4, and that's been released very recently as well. I just think last week, or it could have been this week. So it's got some enhanced WooCommerce capabilities. So they have revamped the menu cart widget. So if you're developing for WooCommerce, it's a little widget that pops up. It's like a little pop-up thing, and it shows you what's in your cart. So they have made that work with Ajax. If you don't know what Ajax means, it just means you can pass information from the web browser to the server and back again without refreshing your page. So things like if you're adding stuff to your cart now, you can just click on a product, it adds it to this little widget and it appears there and it refreshes itself. And similarly, you can go into the cart widget and remove stuff, and it'll just update itself without having to refresh the entire website. So that's a nice little addition. Also, WooCommerce dynamic tags are available in any template now. Now, if you don't know what dynamic tags are bits of information that Elementor sucks out from WordPress. So things like post title, maybe your maybe the site tagline, things like the site name, maybe a post excerpt or the post content, things like that. So when you've got WooCommerce installed, you normally get access to their particular dynamic tags. So things like product name, product featured image, product price, stock level. And now before 3.4, that information was only available if you were developing a single WooCommerce page. So the product single page was those information was only available on then. Now, if you've got WooCommerce installed, it means any page that you're designing in Elementor can bring in the WooCommerce data, not just a single product page. And that means that you can now develop things like a landing page for a specific product, or even put a product in a pop-up box now. So they've expanded that whole thing. So you don't just have to be on the single product page now to get all of that information. You can do that across the entire template for Elementor. So that's pretty cool. And so that's going to let people be able to build a lot more stuff with their WooCommerce, a lot more sales pages. You can read more about the update. So those links that I've dropped there, that one there. So Elementor Pro 3.4, you can read about that one there. And just in general, if you want to see exactly what's changed, the bottom link there, it goes to the change log. So there's 20 tweaks, which means they've tweaked existing features there. They've brought in 18 fixes, so bug fixes, and they've got rid of 2 things as well. So if you're a developer, then you might want to have a look at the change log just to see exactly what's changed. Otherwise, if you're just a normal user, not so much has changed, just little tweaks and bug fixes there, nothing absolutely new that's been brought in. We have a new Facebook group as well. So if you want to join us and keep the conversation and get to know other people, that's facebook.com/groups and Elementor Sydney, all one word for that. So you join the group and then you drop some questions in here if you didn't get a chance to ask your question tonight, or if you've got some follow-up stuff, then you can just ask in there and we'll try our best to help you. Yeah, and we'll upload these links and videos and stuff to those social websites as well, the Facebook group for that. So after this, I'll upload these links so you can get the video afterwards. Okay, that's all I have for today. Let's jump straight into Morris's talk. So Morris.
All right, great. Thanks for that, Will. If you want to jump to the next
next one, there we go.
Yeah, so this is not going to be too much on PowerPoint. So where did the session come about is that there's so many widgets available in Elementor Pro and Elementor itself. But then there's also so many people that are selling widgets and add-ons for Elementor. So I thought, well, what do these extras do? What is the benefit of them? Why do we need them? Do we need them? And that's what the purpose of today is all about, is basically to show you all those extras, and not all of them because there's thousands of them out there, but just to get you going. And somebody mentioned that, like, tips and tricks and see what else there is. Well, hopefully this is what can answer you. But just in general, what these widgets do, give you some extra functionality to the standard widgets. I'm not talking about general plugins such as forms and all sorts of thousands of other plugins. I'm specifically talking about the widgets that Elementor has. Mostly give us more widgets, give extra icons. You can do mega menus in them. And some of them come with templates, but one of the big things is cross-domain copying. So if you've got website abc.com and bcd.com, you can copy a section from one website to the other website across the domains, and that can be quite useful. So what I've got today, and I might just share my screen, if I can find the mouse and the right buttons. Share the screen, hopefully I share the right one. So that should be coming. So what I've got today, I've developed a basic website there. I hope you can see it, to show some of the features that's on these various add-on packages. On the previous slide, you saw no bad weather. Basically, I haven't gone for any design awards. I've just put in everything plain and simple, just to see what it does. What is the benefit of, say, a heading or whatever we're going to go through. So I thought I'd go through some of these things: headings, buttons, pricing tables, things I've got here on top, and then just wanted to add on packages and just focus on them and see what they've got, something special, something different. So yeah, might go through all that, and then I've got a demo section at the end which has got nothing in it. And if you guys want to use the opportunity to say, Morris, what does that button do you didn't show us? Let's go and try it out. Try it out together. I've used a few free add-ons, and I've also used a few paid add-ons, some of which were sponsored by the provider. They provided a demo license for this talk. So Elements Kit, and yes, you can probably go to my link on top there, which I can probably copy and paste across. into the chat, or somebody will copy that into the chat. And you can get all these links from there. So as I say, some are pro licenses, so use the opportunity now to try it out, and some are free. And then there's also another website, which I'll get to in a second, which goes through all the add-ons that are available, and you can find what you're looking for. So, and I'll get to that in a minute. But so yeah, let's get on to it. And this is probably the worst design pages coming up, but just wanted to show you what was possible. So this is standard Elementor heading, but something like Ultimate Add-ons for Elementor can do a dual heading, as they call it. Put a different color in the middle. They can have something that's overwriting it. Similar in this Ultimate Add-ons, they've got something similar. We've got all these that we've seen regularly. There's also this Oh Boy Steroids, which is a plugin, which, as you can see, you hover over the text. We've got a color change. We've got text going down the side. I guess what to look at these sort of things and say, is this something that would be of interest to my website? Do I need it? More on headings. This one, I've taken this picture here is actually behind this text here. Elements kit, so you can put a picture behind and get styling from a photograph or a picture. They're just various sort of headings that you can get from, this is Happy Add-ons. They've got a gradient header, master add-ons, etc. And this one's like multiple three lines of heading with some writing in the background. I'm not sure if you can see that. Then, so what do these fancy buttons do? And generally, they've got thousands of options in each one. So yes, I've chosen maybe one or two, but yeah, there's many options available. So this is a normal Elementor button. This button sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. If I just go into, I'll just go into the page on the back end, and I think you'll see the button there. Let me see if it comes through there quickly. Yeah, I'm not too sure why this is a Happy Add-ons button. You can see this is one button from Ultimate Add-ons, so that you can get three different parts to that button. Let's see. So that this and that's what it's supposed to look like. So that's what it looks like in the back end. Just scroll a bit down. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And this and that, there's the Ultimate Add-ons. So according to the sizing, this is what's called the butter button from Oh Boy. I'll just move back to the front end. And you can see you can size the icon different size. You've got a bit of coloring, a bit of gradients. Essentials, doing a little bit different. They've got many styles, but I've just put two up here. Exclusive add-ons, and this one, but interesting according to where your mouse comes from. So the button's highlighting that way, just something fancy. And I said, what others? I think I've got it here. Let me just, sorry, didn't preload that site, should have done it beforehand. Just open that in a new link. And this website basically says these are the add-ons available, and sort of what I'm doing now, but you can play with it afterwards. And yeah, if you want a heading, then these are the add-ons that will give you a nice heading, and they also give you demos of the various headings. So I've gone through some of these, etc. So yeah, whichaddon.com, and that'll show you some of the stuff I'm going to go through. Pricing tables, again, just to show you what's available. Yes, this is the standard Elementor, but you want something different. well, this is what essential add-ons will give you, for example. It's what happy add-ons will give you, something that looks like that. Put pictures are slightly different. Some of them are a little bit the same, some are a bit different. I think I need to refresh my CSS actually. From one. So this is ultimate add-ons. Yeah, a few different options there. This one looks quite nice, master add-ons. Ability to put pictures in the background and things like that. And yeah, so these are obviously not the prices of their products. I'll go into image box. Again, this is the standard, what Elementor standard would give. And this is what some of them, this has got a floating box. This creates a border. Yeah, again, just what do you actually want? There's various boxes there. This one comes with the background, elements kit. Oh boy, it works a little bit differently. And when I go into the back end, you'll see how that one works. But that's quite powerful. There's a lot on YouTube on Oh boy. So image comparison, a few of them got, so I don't think Elementor's got something like this. Again, these are two totally different images just to show you how it works, but you could probably use a before and after shot or something like that. Same sort of idea here with master add-ons, happy add-ons, same sort of idea. This one's a little bit different. You can go and zoom all over your picture and do a magnifier and see what two was picking their nose type of thing. So this is just focused on happy add-ons. They've got this sort of scroller there across the top, and we can go into the back and see which widget it is. They've got the hotspots, which so I'll probably need to refresh my CSS, but there should be buttons on here to click on. We've got, yeah, this is what they call this, the fun facts. I'm not sure if just refreshing will help. They've got a news ticker. They've also got the ability to do various graphs or charts. A little bit different on their business hours. You can put a background image on any of the lines. So Oh boy, yeah, there's just, I've only done one thing here on Oh boy, but yeah, this sort of idea you can get and do quite easily. They tell you how to do that. So exclusive add-ons, you can see they've got a header that jumps up and jumps around as you hover over it. And they've got an alert, which you can put some sort of alert, press this button, or thank you for purchasing or whatever. And when you click done, that all disappears. They've also got this COVID stats widget, which I find interesting. And I think this refreshes every day, and you can go and search for countries and go and find everybody's COVID status. And they've got a COVID widget. Progress bar. Little bit differently on their testimonial widget. And they've also got a breadcrumbs, which could be useful to go back Yeah, breadcrumbs. Element pack, again, I think this is a header with the images. This one's got a magnifier, which works a little bit differently. Scroll up button. They've also got the, this is theoretically a street map. I only put this one in last night, not working, but yeah, they got a street map there, search button, some of this sort of stuff. So you can give percentage total vaccinated, total one jab, whatever it is. They've got a Calendly link. So if anybody uses Calendly, I don't use Calendly, it's why it's not valid, but yeah, maybe you want to put something like that. And they've got this cookie, they've got a cookie widget as well. So that's, I guess, a very quick run through of what I've sort of pre-prepared, and just to show you how they all work. Yes, there's all the standard Elementor Pro widgets, and then we've got each one essential. So these are the widgets that these people have got. This is essential add-ons. I've demonstrated some of them, not all of them. If anybody wants to, we can try one or two out. Exclusive. Exclusive add-ons, quite a few. This is happy add-ons. So these are the free ones for happy add-ons. And then they've got a whole bunch of pro, which are coming up, ultimate add-ons. And then this is only a pro version. They don't have a free version. This is the pro for happy add-ons. Here's this elements kit. So they've all got lots of things, master add-ons. Here's this elements pack. So if you were to search for, I don't know, a heading widget, you'd probably find lots of them. The one that I haven't shown, if I just go to, so the headings, sorry, it won't work like that. I'll just go to demo page. Just go to a blank page just to show you how Oboe works. So the way Oboe works is slightly different to the others. And because I've got so many add-ons there, it takes a bit of time to load. Yeah. And the way Oboe would work is if, so Oboe, let's see, if you go into style, and then this is the Oboe section. So Oboe edits the standard Elementor things. It's slightly different from the others. So if you want to put that vertically, for example, that's the way Oboe works. So is anybody, yeah, I don't know if that was useful for anybody. I look at this website every so often when I want to see, do I want one of those styles in one of my websites, and see how they're doing. What have they got? Is anybody who wants to have a look at a widget and see what options there are and things like that? Put your speakers or your microphones on and feel free to ask questions. And I hope that was a little bit useful.
Hey, Maurice.
Hi.
Thanks for the demonstration. I'm just wondering, there was a couple of pages where the CSS was obviously a little bit messed up.
Yeah, it's a little.
I'm just wondering whether it's worthwhile just doing a refresh of the CSS, because I think there's some people that are relatively new here. And Will mentioned it earlier. I just wondered whether it's worthwhile just doing a refresh of the CSS and just having a look at them a little bit different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, let me do that. It was all working last night, and
It's always the way.
Live demos. Live.
I forgot to pray to the live demo gods. It's not in there. It's in Elementor tools. Is that right, Paul? Yeah.
Correct.
So Elementor. Yeah, maybe I did this on purpose. So I can demonstrate what Will was saying. Okay. So there, I've just clicked on regenerate. I don't know if I need to click save changes, but I just will. And I think one of them that wasn't working that well was, I think, let's just regenerate this one. Let's see if that made any difference. Sorry, yeah, it should come through. Let's see if that button improves. No, that button didn't improve.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah. And so last night it looked a little bit different, but there's demos on each of their sites, obviously. Let's hope that, let's see if this is improved at all. Maybe I need to clear it from the SiteGround's perspective. Yeah, my hotspots have disappeared. Yeah, this was a hotspot. I'm not sure, maybe if I go to SiteGround and refresh it there, I don't know if that'll make any difference.
Can you explain what the hotspot one is, Morris?
So on the hotspot, yeah, don't know why it can't work, but theoretically on the hotspot, you'd have images. So this is an image of a motorcycle or something, and you want to find out more about the tires, or do you want to, even if this is a painting, you want to find out more about this yellow color, and you click on the hotspot. So there'll be a little dot on here, and you maybe click on that, and it'll give you more information about the yellow color or the motorcycle or the tire that you've purchased. So maybe if you think about maybe a product for a shop, and there's a person standing there fully dressed, and you click on the pants, and it'll tell you these pants are $50, and you click on the glasses, and these are $200, and they come from whichever shop they got them from, and things like that. Make sense? Well, is that sort of right? And
Yeah,
I think
that sounds about right.
I think Elementors, I think what's a little bit different is that you can actually put something like that. You see, as I hover over that image, some text came up. But that image should actually was on here somewhere. I'll see if I can just refresh it from, I'm just regenerating again. And I specifically didn't update Elementor because I didn't want this sort of thing to happen. But that's regenerating.
Sorry, Maurice, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
It's all good.
I thought that might just make everything go through quite quickly, but sorry about that.
I don't know, it's regenerating still. Now, this time is taking a bit of time. But what we could do is I could probably just show the for example, if the hotspots of interest, I could probably just come here to our demo page and just try and put the hotspot. Is the hotspot, why does it want me to log in? Maybe because I cleared the, I go to the hotspot, which was on, I'm just trying to think which page it was on, Happy Add-Ons.
Hotspot in the last update, I think. I shared the link in the comments.
Yeah, so the Elementor does have hotspot available as well.
Elementor Pro has. Please check the link.
Yeah, so that, yeah, Elementor Pro does have hotspots in one of their recent releases, and yeah, I can't see the chat, but yeah, I think this one works a little bit differently, or gives you, yeah, so you see this is how it's supposed to be, that there's a dot here like in the middle, and you click on that. Just wait for that to load up. I said there's lots of plugins here, so give me lots of grief here, this system tonight. That's why I don't like to do live demos. But let's say, I think there it is. So if I click on that, that's the layout. Let's click on that. So there's the spots. So I can add an item, say an icon library. It's going to choose a hotspot of whatever, print button, insert, and what happened there? There's that print button. And yes, there, so I can position it exactly where I want it. You can put a tooltip. So there's your tooltip. There's some options there. Speed, all of that. You can also use an image. That's an image, but I've used an image for this hotspot. Is it that? That's the red. That's that one there. So let's go to hotspot 2. So yeah, so there I've used an image. So yeah, the hotspot is now an image. I'm not too sure that Elementor allows images on the hotspot. I'm not sure. I haven't played with that too much. Sort of fun facts. You can see how that's sort of built up. You put the numbers, the title, and usually if you go into styles, especially if maybe one of the headings, there's various ways to like this. With the news ticker, they've got all these various options there.
I quite like the before and after one as well, because I've used that on quite a few websites. So things like for cleaning services, so clients that have got cleaning services, they can take before shots and then after, so they can show clients, exactly what a great job they do. Also for realtor sites, so real estate agents, usually some of them offer a service like a cleanup service. For example, you've got tenants in there, then they can offer a service to clean it up. So that that not actually the apartment, the photo. So they take a picture of the photo, and it's maybe got magnets on the fridge and unwashed dishes in the sink, and then they take it back to Photoshop and they make it all look like pristine and nice and new. That's a service that some real estate offers, and the before and after slider is really good. It's a really good sales pitch as well. So if you guys have got any kind of visual elements to your services, or for your client services, that before after one can really make a big difference, I think.
And I think using the back end here, you can see the scrolling, the CSS is better than the front end actually. Or the way this thing is working is much better than it's a hover box. With this one, this is a line chart. I think they've got multiple types of charts. The boy, as I was saying, if you say select a header, and it's just put a header in, Well, I've shown you a boy header. Maybe something else. Maybe sort of. Let's see what. Just anything and put one of these in. And then oh boy, when you're going to style, then if the oh boy's got something in this one, I see they don't have, there would be something over here, like we saw in the header. So various styling options. They've got all these funny names, Hakiri or whatever. Things that, yeah, so there I've got the various colors in the hover. Put your text over there. Any others that we should look at, or anything specific?
I have a question, Morris.
Yeah.
Is it something that is likely to slow the website down if you have the plugin installed, but on a page you're not using any widgets? Does it still slow the website down? Is it still there? Is it still doing something?
Well, I think one of Will's sessions, he was talking about how to disable things that you're not using on the website. So yes, take it off. I did a GT metrics on this website, and yes, there's a lot of plugs, and it wasn't great. The speed was really slow, but it doesn't look slow from using it. But yeah, it probably, it depends on, as I say, how it's developed, who's developed it, how good the plugin is. And yes, because I've got 6 or 7 of them on here, my page is not a great one to test it on.
Well, that's, yeah, kind of my question. Does it make sense to have kind of 7 of them installed at once, or should you just find one that pretty much does at least 99% of what you want it to do?
I think it would be a good idea to go and find one of these add-on packages. As you can see, they mostly do the similar sort of things. They mostly do the similar sort of things. Find the one that you really like, that's got everything that you need. Or as you say, 90% of what you need. And if I find that other link I shared earlier, this one. So you can go through here and see you need a carousel. These are the ones that have got it, and etc. And find all the things that you need, and then go and buy that package. And
that's a really neat website. Where do you find that one from?
I found it because I'm not sure where I found it from, but yeah. So feel free. I'm probably going to have this website up for a while, so probably feel free to take that URL. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody's put it in the chat already. I'm not sure. I don't.
Yeah, it's already there.
You can probably come back to this afterwards and see some things, but I do have that link there. That's the one that shows you all the add-ons. And they do have, on that website, they do have so if I had to click on, I don't know, something to circle info, I haven't looked at that, I don't think.
I think that's a great little website, that which-addon.com.
Yeah,
that's super. I'm going to use that all the time.
It's really good, actually, doesn't it?
At least I got one thing out of tonight's meeting.
What was your favorite one, Maurice? Which one did you find using was the most?
I also add a link, something like that. You may find add-on with a different add-on in the same place. Please check the link.
Great, thank you. This is an interesting one. I haven't seen this sort of thing before. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, and then I guess there's a link. Yeah, there's some. Which one did I find? I don't actually know. I think Happy Add-ons has got something that I liked and couldn't use. I would want to use. I couldn't do that through Elementor Pro. So I liked Happy, but sometimes I prefer simple, sweet and simple, basic, and maybe just the standard Elementor is good enough. I'm not sure. And that's why I actually wanted to do this, to see, is there something there that's so fantastic that I really need it. Yeah, as well said, the image comparison thing, you're not going to get that in the standard Elementor, and that was really good. And as I said, he gave better examples than I've given, but I've just given to show a real difference, I guess. Yeah, if you need something like that, you're not going to get it too easily. This one was interesting.
Which one had the COVID widgets in there?
I think that was, is it exclusive, I think? Yeah, there, yeah, exclusive. And
that's interesting. So, you know, if you do like a news website or something, that would be quite useful.
Although I couldn't find a way to format the numbers, but you can search by country, and yeah, so that's there. And so yeah, and that's, I think it's live. I don't know what today's Australian statistics are, but what does it say? Today's case is 1,500. Probably sounds about right. Although I didn't listen. I don't know what the story is today.
They'd probably be pretty close, actually.
Yeah, that probably is. So that was just, if I go to, let me see if I can go to the back end of that one, it was exclusive. That's just a Control E, the shortcut there. Just let that load. Yeah, there. So this widget. So these are the options in that sort of widget. So you can switch on and off those boxes there. You can switch on, I suppose, enabling country names is probably the most important thing. But yeah, you can switch on and off buttons. There's the info table. You can choose what you want to see on the info table. And then obviously you should be able to style it, the colors, and yeah, so I didn't find anything to format the numbers. So just typography and color, right? Yeah. This alert. So it's basically got just a close button, really. To close, is it an icon? Is it a button? Not sure how useful that is. If you want to, if you maybe got a shop or something, as you hover over it, maybe more information about the product. And yes, I know WooCommerce and all of that, as Will was saying, it's got other stuff now. Breadcrumbs, I think that's useful. I think it really depends on the requirements of each person. Sorry, Julia. Was it you? Just, yeah, the requirements of each person.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I guess I was going to ask. If there was any specific add-on that you would recommend for beginners, and any specific ones for more advanced users, if you think that's something that can be possible.
Yeah, I think they're all very similar. It's just that some of them give, like the COVID thing. If you want the COVID thing, then you need to go to exclusive add-ons. I don't think from beginner versus advanced user, I think they're all very similar, the way that you use them. It's just the standard way that you'd use an Elementor add-on widget. There's a flip. I'm just going to pull this one across. Don't know what it does, but there creates. Oh yeah, okay. And then as you go into it, you've got your usual flip left, right, up, down, zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, there are just so many functions with sizing, I guess. Your content. So the people that know how to use the Elementor widgets would be able to use these, I believe. I don't think you need to be advanced, and a beginner would work it out quite quickly, I think.
That's great, Morris. Thank you very much for taking us through all those different add-ons. There's definitely heaps and heaps of functions. You could be there all week just trying them out, I reckon. I use Ultimate Add-Ons. For me, that's the one that I've settled on. That's got as John said, it's got like the 80-20% rule. For me, that's the kind of, I use 80% of them, 20%, kind of maybe a little bit of a crossover between Elementor and stuff that I just don't need. But definitely, I would be sticking to one or the other. Especially with pricing as well. These ones, you really got to pay the money to get the Pro features as well, which is usually the features that are the ones that you want, the Pro ones. Yeah, so that's great. If anyone else got any other questions, you can drop them in the chat just now. Otherwise, I'll say thank you very much, Morris. That was fantastic for taking us through all those different plugins. Really, really good.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me just share my screen and we've got a couple.
Yeah. So I think, somebody asked which one was using Ultimate Add-ons, and yeah, I've got them scattered throughout this presentation, not on the exclusive page, maybe on headings or something. That one, Ultimate Add-ons for Elementor, I think that's only a Pro version. Is that right, Will?
That's correct. Yep. So that's just a completely pro version for that one. And
do you think that's worth the money, Will?
Yeah, well, if it is for me, so some of the Pro add-ons some of the Pro features that I get, I use it in quite a lot of my client websites. So for me, that is so things like Gravity Forms. It's got a Gravity Forms widget. Now I know you can add Gravity Forms in with Elementor shortcode, but this one also connects to things like ActiveCampaign and MailChimp. It also supports tagging as well. So rather than having to do that all manually or through Gravity Forms, I can just do it within Elementor. So just that one widget in itself is enough for me to pay for that. But there's several other Pro widgets that I really, really like in that one. And again, it's really...
Yeah. I think I've got it here. Just minimize all these others and then you can see what's in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a heap of stuff in there. It really does depend on what type of sites you're using.
So that's Ultimate. These are the widgets they've got available.
Murray's asking about conditional logic. That's quite on topic, Murray, and you'll see that for the next slide that I put on. Someone and CropBlock and Dynamic.o. Yeah, so CropBlock is really, really good for WooCommerce. I think it's probably one of the top WooCommerce Elementor add-ons. So if you got a WooCommerce store and you're looking to build out, especially things like the checkout page, which doesn't come standard. I don't think that comes as standard with Elementor. I think that's one of the templates you cannot actually adjust. So CropBlock comes with all these different WooCommerce ones. So if you go into that website, which is the add-ons one, which add-on, and scroll down to the WooCommerce, then you'll probably see that CropBlock comes up quite a bit for those. So yeah, it's definitely a good one for WooCommerce specifically. We might do another actual session on add-ons just for WooCommerce, because that's a whole different talk in itself for those. So thank you, Morris. I'm just going to unshare my screen. And we'll finish up. Share this one. Okay, so you're asking about conditional elements. That was good timing, Murray, because next month I'm going to be talking, it's a more advanced talk. So I'm going to be talking about the specific plugin called Dynamic Conditions. And now Dynamic Conditions is it is only available for Elementor Pro users, so it's not for the free version, because it runs on the dynamic tags that Elementor Pro has. So what I was talking about in the updates, things like the dynamic information that Elementor grabs out of WordPress, things like product titles, product quantities and stuff. That's what this dynamic condition works on. It allows you to hide or view particular WordPress elements or components depending on the values of these dynamic tags. So that's what I'm going to be talking about next month. So a little bit more advanced topic on that, but a really, really cool thing to have if you want to have some really advanced designs and page templates for those. So join us next month, first Thursday of next month, October 7th at 6 p.m. It says AAST, but it's actually just AET. And we'll go over these elements with dynamic conditions. Other than that, I'll just stop my share just now. That's us for tonight. If you've got any other questions, then you can drop them in the chat just now. Otherwise, just find us on the Facebook group or drop some questions onto the Elementor meetup page as well. And we'll just try and answer those. And what I'll do with these, with the video, and we'll get the video, we'll download it, we'll process it, and we'll put the link up on our Facebook group, and we'll put it up on the events page on Elementor as well. So you can get access to it and you can watch it and you can kind of speed through and see which, you can review all the different bits for those. So other than that, thank you very much, guys. I can't see anything else coming through. We have one question. How can I stop another admin to sign on my Elementor account? Ah, that's interesting. John?
Well, sorry, maybe I just need to explain. When you are in WordPress, remember when you go to licenses on the bottom, sorry, I don't have one on this PC to show.
Yep.
But if you go to licenses and you're administrator, you can click on that option and you sign into Elementor automatically. Correct. Is there a way to stop any other administrator not to be able to do that? I cannot find a way, except if I go and put in a plugin that allows me to give access to certain people.
Yeah, so not natively. To my knowledge, I think you're correct. So just all admins can be able to go in and connect to an Elementor account, but they need to be able to log into your Elementor account as well, though, because that's where it connects. So it's using OAuth. So when you click on that, you'd also need to be logged into your Elementor account before it would connect the license or activate the license for that. So other admins would really need your Elementor, your my.elementor login to be able to do that. But no, there's no native hiding for that particular concept. As you say, you need to load in like a roles-based plugin and specifically deny or give people access to that. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. No, I just thought there's a way that I might have missed. That's all why I asked.
Great question. Yeah. So awesome session, Morris. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone as well for attending. Join us next month for this dynamic conditions or drop some stuff in the meetup group. Other than that, have a lovely month. Take care and stay safe as well. And I'll see you guys next month. Ciao.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks.
Thanks, Will. Thanks, Morris.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Morris. That was excellent.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.